But my biggest ever carp is an 86.5 from Rainbow Lake, which is the biggest fish at the time. It was the biggest fish in Rainbow Lake. It was a fish called Eric's. It's so cold I can't speak. Eric's Common it was called, and it had actually weighed 93 pounds at its top weight. But I caught it 86.5, and the day that I caught it, I'd specifically wanted to get in peg 5 where it was known for living round, and hooked into this fish first thing in the morning. I was having my breakfast, and it just melted off my left-hand rod. I'll never forget it. And it was probably where my rods are now, away from the bivvy, and just melted off. And the boat was just there, and it was a comedy of errors that happened from then onwards, because the water level was up. I got into the boat, and as I was getting into the boat, I managed to fall over the side. Got a wader full of water and stuff like that, and was trying to sort out the left-hand rod as this fish was melting off. And I managed to pick up the line from one of the other rods onto that reel, and as I was reeling and not looking what I was doing, I reeled line off the other rod onto the reel. Long story. And the way you fish at Rainbow Lake is you fish with these bolts, these bottles, and they're surface bottles to keep your line going vertical. And I just looked across the lake and I saw where my bottle was, and it was in a snag. And from that moment I got into the boat, wound down to it, went over to the snag, thought it was a lost fish. And as I got to the snag, the bottle's there, and I was pulling the bottle up like this, and I was pulling it up, and all I could feel was this what the hell's that, you know? And just pulled and pulled and pulled. Next minute I just pulled, and it got pulled out of my hands, the bottle did, as this fish shot underneath the boat. And as it's gone under the boat started to move. I've picked up the rod again. And when you fish at Rainbow Lake, you're fishing with really strong gear, real twisty line. If you're using strong monos, and I was using 50-pound mono, and it had twisted around the tip. So I was trying to untangle that as this fish is shooting underneath the boat, and at all times you can see where the fish is because the bottle's just above it. So as this bottle's going underneath the boat, I felt it go under the boat, da-dunk, da-dunk, and it's gone under the boat, swung round in the boat, and I could just see this big bow wave going across, and I'm like, oh my God, you know, and I've managed to untangle the line from the tip, and I've connected with the fish. And then to cut a long story short, the next 20 minutes, it was in and out of a snag from this side to the next side, because it was in this channel, and the channel wasn't very wide, down to the left of peg 5 at Rainbow. And it's gone round 2 or 3 sets of snags, in and out of snags, and eventually I've seen this giant fish hit the surface just in front of the net, and I managed to net it. And it was just a chaotic fight from start to finish that probably went on for about 40 minutes if you count me going over my wader in the boat to start with, the line going around the reel handle, to when I actually landed the fish. And at the time it was the biggest fish in Rainbow, and it's got like a damaged tail it had. So when I saw the tail go over the net, I knew it was Eric's Common, and it wasn't really bothered whether it weighed 93 pounds or 86 pounds. I just caught the biggest fish in that lake, and very memorable, and a massive battle as well.